Well, greetings and salutations, good people of the internet. My name is Big Lou, and welcome to my workshop. This is Duck Duck. Duck Duck is a wooden toy duck that my 5-year-old niece loves to push around and play with. She plays with it all the time, and as you can see, Duck Duck has been ducked. So, my sister has asked me to use my considerable woodworking abilities to see if I can't repair Duck Duck. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to just... Whoa, wait a minute. That's your big project this week? That's what you're going to be using your considerable woodworking abilities on? Just replacing a broken dowel on a toy that maybe 4 people in the world have? Well, yeah, but I mean, all we have to do... Why don't you give these people something more entertaining to watch? Like using that broken piece of junk and making a new one. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, I hate when you're right. Yeah, that's right. I had a brilliant idea. I know. I'll be inside waiting on a no-bill committee to call. They'll be calling post-haste. Thank you. Oh, he's going to be unbearable now. You darn right. All right, let's just get to work. Okay, so the first thing we need to do if we're going to actually make a new one of these is we need to get an accurate template. And I can't really get a good template with all of the rubber feet and fins sticking out of the wooden parts. And you could see here that they're not real... They're not the most secure things in the world. So I'm going to go ahead and start by disassembling this completely and getting it to a point where we can trace out a accurate template for the brand new Duck Duck. New and improved, if you will. We can rebuild it. We have the technology. Cue that montage. Whoa, stepping in here. Time flag on the play. That is not the right montage, folks. Sorry about that. Let's just take 1 second. Hang on. Let me find the right button. There we go. Try that. Alright, so now that Duck Duck has been disassembled, I can go ahead and start thinking about what material I want to make him out of. And I've got this old 1x material. It's 1x10 that is this long. And I think I can get several blanks out of him. I'm going to trace as many of these on here as I can because I'm going to cut them out on the bandsaw. I suck at cutting things out of the bandsaw.
Yeah, you really do.
Thank you. Anyway, I'm not very good at cutting things out of the bandsaw, but this is a really good opportunity for me to practice something that I'm not very good at. And that's why I wanted to do this project, because practicing things that you're not good at is the only way to get better at it. And that's what this is all about, is practicing things to get better at it. Make each cut better than the next. I forget who... weld.com. It's YouTube channel about welding. Is make each weld better than the next. But the same concept applies. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get to work on this, and then we can trace out our parts and get cutting on the bandsaw. Wish me luck. So when I was at the bandsaw cutting it out, I cut it almost to the line. In some places it's right on the line, but for the most part it's a little bit away. So I'm going to use my combination disc and belt sander to sand this down to the line so that it has some nice flowing transitions and it looks more like the original did. I know some of you are going to say, why don't you just use a flush trim bit? I could do that, but I don't want to risk damaging this original piece. I know it was probably just a $10 toy that my mom got at some side of the road thing up in North Carolina, wherever it was that she was, but it's still really precious to the girls, and I don't want to hurt this in any way. And knowing my unsteady hands and a router, it's going to be easier to do this. That way I can use that to get one exactly like this, and then if I want to just bust the rest of these out, I can use that original as a template for a flush trim bit. Got it all sanded, and as you can tell, I put a nice little round over with some sandpaper on here just because, tiny toddler fingers and sharp edges, not real good. The original looks like it has some type of chamfer on it, but I think, again, they just use sandpaper because it's very irregular. Everything about this is irregular. Well, not completely, but I mean, like, if you look at the shapes here, they're not symmetrical, which means it's definitely cut by hand, which is why I didn't use a router on this. I wanted each piece to be individual, and you could tell that it's cut by hand. So with that mentality in mind, we need to paint these because the originals have some paint on it. We want them to have some character. We want them to actually look like ducks. So, painting. Yeah. I think I'm going to need to call in an expert. We're going to paint today?
Yeah, we're going to paint.
Or you say you're a painting expert?
Yes.
Excellent. Give me a thumbs up, Della. All right. Hey, Della.
What?
Why don't you look right here and tell the people to like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Thank you.
Homework? On the iPad.
My expert abandoned
Every
me.
put hummus on the iPad. Every put hummus on the iPad.
That's how you paint Duck Duck. Okay, so we are in the home stretch. There's only a couple of things that I need to button up before we can start putting this thing back together. Number one, I want to draw a face on the duck because this one has a face and it just makes it look so much more complete. So I'm going to draw a face and I'm just going to use these paint pens to draw an eye and mouth and like that. I also need to cut slits in the tires and in the back of the body here for the wings and the fins. So I'm going to get all that done. I'm going to hit it with a little bit of spray lacquer to just kind of prevent it from deteriorating or any of the paint chipping off or anything like that, and then we can start gluing it back together. So let's get to it. They are done, and they are awesome. I am so thrilled with how these things turned out. Obviously, just repairing the dowel in the original was a piece of cake, but carving this one out of the bandsaw, challenging myself to do that, I am so, so happy with how these things turned out. And the best part is they're toys. And we can play with toys. Let's go play. Hey, Della, guess what I got?
Ducks.
Ducks.
Wow, that's mine.
Yes, it is. Do you love it?
I like
Yay! Do it on the carpet, Della. Does it work pretty good, Della? So I just want to take this time to remind you guys to subscribe to the channel, share this video amongst all of your friends if you liked it. Hit that thumbs up and leave a comment down below because both of those things truly help the channel out more than you could really know. In the meantime, I'm going to keep playing with my nieces, and you guys stay inspired, stay motivated, and stay safe. We'll see you next time.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you smell like. Cheese and mozzarella, pepperonis.
Okay, maybe it will go on YouTube.
What?
Twinkle, twinkle, little pizza.
That'll be the outtakes.